Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. My guest today is Mr. Amir Osman from Australia. Today we are going to discuss on the current situation of Ethiopia. Welcome, Mr. Amir.
Thank you, Mr. Akalu.
How do you see the political, economic, and the social reform being carried out since the reformist government led by Abiy Ahmed came to power?
Well, the political reforming, which is currently taking from the past regime, from Ihade or TPLF regime, Abiy has came up with a new strategy. That's one thing that amazes all of us. Abiy has put the proposal of loving, caring, and unity for that country. Before it was sectarians. Sectarians has created a tension between sectarians. It has divided the nation. But now, by being each individual of us as who you are, whether you are Amhara, Oromo, Tigray, Somali, whatever it is, the political reform that Dr. Abiy has came up with, it is a love and caring for that country. That is what is important. That if a person loves their own country, that means no enemy can attack that country. That is a political reform which has taken a place. The economical or social reforms that is taking current. Now, this social and economical reform, it comes with the peace, with the love. If we look at it, Abiy has started building the dam, the Nile Dam, as well as also for agriculture and economic transformation. He has proposed, and then he has outlined a lots of plan, and he already taking a lot of project through with the foreign countries. So this is the reform that economically is taking place. First, one country has to think about stability. From the stability, then to the economic development. I believe Dr. Abiy is doing a great job, not only for Ethiopians, for the Africans. The first leader that we have seen that start uniting the neighboring African countries, and African countries has got up and then spoke for themselves that this is what unity that we need. This is a kind of a prime minister, honestly, African is after Mr. Mandela. And I believe that he's a second Mr. Mandela.
What are the bottlenecks for the started reforms and who contributed for these?
Normally, when one regime start departing, there is always a chaos. Now, the previous TPLF government has created so much chaos within the countries, especially economically, politically. So many people has been died. And within the economic section in that country, TPLF has controlled all the areas. Now, when they are departing, they start leaving the vacancy. And those vacancies, they have used it against their own self. That is the bottleneck that has shaken the country. Starting from the military department, economical department, from all sides, the departing of TPLF has created a bottleneck for the country. But Dr. Abiy is very smart. The outcome of that, their plan was to destroy the country by creating a bottleneck so that the country cannot breathe. But Dr. Abiy came up with the best plan, saying that we should love each other, we should care for this country, not one ethnic background. Now, those bottlenecks are picked one by one. So the economic transformation is going back to the people of that country, to the within the nations, and the political reform also is going back to the hands of the people than the party leaders, as a past TPLF has done. This was the bottleneck for that country.
How do you see the executive order issued by President Joe Biden and the open letter written by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed?
Well, currently American in turmoil, if we can look at it, starting from the previous president to current president Joe Biden. We know how Joe Biden came to the White House. American foreign policy has deteriorated. We know the foreign policy is always in a bad shape. Starting from Afghanistan, Somalia, Syria, all around the world. But now, when we're talking about a letter from Prime Minister to President, a smart leader always approaches big countries with the vision, with the best outline vision, or with the prosperity visions. Now, for Joe Biden to receive that, analyze it, and then come back to Africans or to that country is entirely up to his job. But would Africa stop growing? No. Would that country stop growing? No. The country will go forward. Abiy has done what he has to do. It's up to Joe Biden to come up and say that, of course, after colonizations of Africa, today we have to return back something to Africa. Not only not only looking Africans as a lower levels, but the Europeans as well as also the Americans need to think about their strategy, how to handle the African countries. If they go in bullying, pushing, pressuring, honestly, Africa will depart from the Europeans and from Americans, because there is a rivalries of China and Russia's, a lot of issues. Now, in terms of the sanction that Joe Biden has put on Ethiopia, Ethiopia has never bought any kinds of weapons from America. Dollar to dollars, it doesn't match, it cannot afford. And instead of America selling weapons to Africa, they should really sell knowledge and peace and stabilities. Nevertheless, a lot of African countries, what they arm themselves is a Kalashnikovs, which is most production comes from the Russians, Chinese. A lot of countries are coming up with their own products. Now, Joe Biden has received honorable letter from the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. It is up to him to return that honor to the nation of the Moses. Ethiopians are the nation of the Moses. They know how to deal the problems, they know how to diffuse the problems, and they don't tolerate the pushing and shoving that comes from America. This is my message to them. Thank you.
Following the results of the sixth national election Ethiopia held months ago, a new government is going to form it in the coming October. Of course, the Oromia regional state is already formed. What is expected from the new government?
It is a lot of work, because from the past regime, the country has battled and has gone through a lot of problems. This new government, I'm not saying they're perfect, but they are doing their best for that country. They have put that country together. They have saved that country from 120 million refugees, from flooding European countries, Middle Eastern countries, the world nations. So this new government has saved human beings, a country. Now they've got a lot of job to do, especially the TPLF, the previous regime, has made up a lot of mess within that country, economical, political, a lot of reform. So what would expect from this new government will be a lot of hard work, stabilities, and then equalizations within those who live within the Ethiopians, as also diplomatic engagement within the Africans, as well as also European countries. This is what is expected from them.
How do you see the current situation in Tigray, and what do you think was the cause for this problem?
Well, the situation in Tigray, the regime that has been killing human beings in open field on Eritrea, nearly 2 million people in Hararge, lots of areas. The TPLF regime has been manipulating the Europeans and was using Al Qaeda as a bargaining to get dollar-funded money from America. Perhaps maybe Joe Biden would like to review on these issues. So the current TPLF or the current Tigray issues is the regime refusing to die. It's a regime refusing to go. Dr. Abiy has given them a plenty offer. The nation of Ethiopia got up and fought Tigray people, or the TPLF, sorry, Tigray regime, or the Tigray TPLF regime. They fought, the people of Ethiopia fought them. It's not only the Oromos. All ethnic that lives in Ethiopia has fought the past regime. Now, this past regime does not want to kneel down, does not want to surrender. What they want to cause is a chaos within that countries. Now, that is the reason that they throwing their rockets, whatever they have accumulated, and also buying some European lobbyists to make big noise. And all of these things is not gonna be forever. Soon, things will be silent around Tigray areas. I believe for Tigray people, what is the best things? To come to join Dr. Abiy, to get rid of Tigray TPLF parties, because that is a regime, that is a killer. None of Ethiopians will accept that. So peacefully, they should come and give up their weapons, or else fight with Ethiopian nations. The solution is going to be solved very soon. I doubt it, because the regime doesn't want a peace. The Tigray regime doesn't want, the TPLF doesn't want a peace within that region, because he wants to go back to the chairs in Finfinne. But would the nation of Ethiopia accept that? Definitely not. Well, my advice to Dr. Abiy: keep struggling, keep pushing it. You will end up victory. For the Ethiopians, be united, look after your countries. Don't listen to this Tigray propaganda, Tigray regime propaganda. What causes is a problem, it's a dictatorship. They've been killing people, they've been arresting people for so many years. For the last 25, 29 years, starting from Meles Zenawi, systematically they were destroying peoples and political parties, including those people who came with them. How did they come to the power? Of course, people of Ethiopia hate Mengistu Haile Mariam at that time, socialism. They fought socialism. So they had an opportunity to make this country to go forward as a prosperity, but they lost that part. So many people have been killed in open flame on Irecha Day. 5,000 people have been killed. All of these are within us, and the Ethiopians are mowing from this. And definitely, they will not accept the Tigray regime. Thank you.
What's your insight about the futurity of this country?
My insight or my vision about this country, Ethiopia is actually, I look at it as a country now to invest in. The best door has opened. At this moment, it looks like a bit rigorous, a bit unstable, a bit shaky, but I can guarantee you, this only is going to last 2 years or less than 2 years. After that, Ethiopia is going to be one of the prosperous countries in Africa. It will go ahead because the current Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy, has got the best vision for that countries. And he started teaching the Ethiopians, we all the same, we all equals. Now, once you start loving a country, nothing will stop you to develop that countries. In terms of economic reforms, the economy is going back to the hands of the people. It looks like now be shaky, but in the future, after 1 year, as soon as things start getting cleaned, in the future, things will start booming or start glowing. We will see this darkness is gonna go. In agricultural areas, as well as also industrial areas, a lot of countries, a lot of European countries interested in Ethiopia. The only one thing that they're expecting is a peace. And peace is gonna come under Dr. Abiy because he is saying that let's love each other. And when somebody say, let me love you, you cannot say, let me hate you.
Finally, any message you want to convey?
Anything that any message that I convey for the current prime minister, as well as also the newly elected government, look, I'm not saying they're 100% perfect, but they are going toward that road. Even in America, there is no perfect. Even to the Western countries, there is no perfect. Perfect is the one who only created us. But you have taken the challenge road and you are doing your best. We will support you, we'll stand by you. keep working hard and keep working hard. One day you will get there. Never give up. And to Dr. Prime Minister, continue your education on those medias. The more you love, and the more people will love you. And the mostly what attracts the nation and a lot of us is your word saying that I love you. And that's why we said we love you too.
Thank you, Mr. Amir, for your insight.
Thank you, Akalo.